Hey everyone, how many times a day do you think you get distracted? I mean, really, truly distracted, like you just completely lose your train of thought.
Oh, probably more than we'd like to admit, right?
Right. Emails, notifications, the never-ending scroll of social media. It's like we're drowning in distractions.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really excited to dive into deep work today.
Yes. This book by Cal Newport, it really gets to the heart of how we can not only be more productive, but actually do more meaningful work in this crazy distracted world we live in.
It's not just another productivity hack. It's really about reclaiming our focus.
So let's break it down. What exactly is deep work according to Cal Newport?
Well, he defines it as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate.
Okay, so it's about really focusing on challenging tasks, blocking out all the noise, and doing the kind of work that makes a real difference,
Exactly. It's about being so focused that you're basically pushing your brain to its limits.
which is probably why it's so rare these days.
You got it. We're so used to multitasking and being constantly interrupted. It's like our brains have forgotten how to truly focus.
Right, we're constantly getting pulled in a million different directions. So why is this deep work thing so important now?
Well, for one, it's becoming a superpower in the workplace. In a world where anyone can access information and technology, the ability to actually focus and do deep work is becoming increasingly valuable.
It's like the new competitive edge.
Exactly. Companies are looking for people who can actually sit down, think deeply about problems, and come up with creative solutions. And it's not just about the economy, it's also about our own well-being.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. When you're constantly distracted, you're never really present in what you're doing. You're not fully engaged, and that can lead to feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and even unfulfilled.
That makes sense. But does Cal Newport actually say deep work is the key to happiness or fulfillment?
Well, he doesn't explicitly say that, but he does argue that deep work is connected to a sense of meaning and purpose. When you're able to focus on something that's truly challenging and important to you, it's naturally going to lead to a greater sense of satisfaction and accomplishment.
So it's not just about getting more done, it's about doing work that truly matters to us.
Exactly. And that's what I think is so powerful about his message. It's not just about productivity for productivity's sake. It's about finding meaning and purpose in our work.
Okay, I'm sold on the idea.
Hmm.
But how do we actually implement this deep work thing into our lives? You know, we've got jobs, families, responsibilities.
Yeah, it's not always easy, but Newport offers some really practical strategies in the book.
Like what?
Well, one that he emphasizes is the importance of scheduling every minute of your day.
Every minute.
Yeah.
Seriously, that sounds a bit intense.
Well, maybe not every single minute, but the idea is to be really intentional with your time. Instead of just reacting to whatever comes up, you're proactively deciding how you're going to spend your time.
So it's about taking back control of our calendars.
Exactly. You're not letting your inbox or notifications dictate your day. You're deciding what's important and making time for it. And, this is something I've been trying to do more of in my own life, and it's made a huge difference.
Really? How so?
Well, I used to just kind of go with the flow, answering emails as they came in, getting pulled into meetings, and then wondering why I never had time for the things I actually wanted to do. But when I started scheduling specific blocks of time for deep work, even just an hour or two a day, I was amazed at how much more I was able to accomplish. And not just quantity, the quality of my work improved too.
Wow. So that's a pretty big shift in thinking. It's not just about working harder or longer, it's about working smarter and more intentionally.
Exactly. And there are other strategies Newport talks about too, like embracing boredom.
Embracing boredom. Wait, I think I missed that memo. Why would we want to be bored?
Yeah. I know, it sounds counterintuitive, right? But the idea is that our brains have become so accustomed to constant stimulation, we've lost the ability to just be present and focus on one thing at a time.
Oh, so it's like we're addicted to distraction.
Exactly. We're constantly checking our phones, scrolling through social media, looking for the next hit of dopamine. But by allowing ourselves to experience boredom, we actually strengthen our focus muscles.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. So how do we embrace boredom? Do we just sit and stare at a wall?
Well, it doesn't have to be that extreme. It could be as simple as going for a walk without your phone, taking a long bath, or just sitting in silence for a few minutes. The key is to resist the urge to constantly seek stimulation.
Okay, I think I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
But what about the things we feel like we need to stay on top of, like social media? How does that fit into this whole deep work philosophy?
That's a great question. Newport doesn't say you have to completely ditch social media, but he does encourage you to be really intentional about how you use it.
So, no more mindless scrolling.
Well, it's not about completely cutting it out. It's more about being mindful of how much time you're spending on it and why.
So it's about asking ourselves, is this serving my goals or is it just a distraction?
Exactly. And there are some practical things you can do, like scheduling specific times for social media and sticking to them, or, unfollowing accounts that don't really add value to your life.
So it's all about being intentional and making sure social media serves us, not the other way around.
Exactly. And, one of the things that really resonated with me about the book is this idea that deep work is not just a set of tactics, it's really a mindset shift. It's about changing how we think about work and what we value.
So it's less about hacking our productivity and more about changing our relationship with work.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. It's about focusing on what's truly important, doing work that matters, and finding a deeper sense of purpose in what we do.
That's really inspiring. So as we wrap up our deep dive, what was your biggest takeaway from deep work?
For me, it was definitely the importance of scheduling and being intentional with my time. It's so easy to just let the day happen to you, but when you actively plan your day and make time for deep work, it's amazing how much more you can accomplish and how much more fulfilling your work becomes.
I totally agree. It's like taking back control of your day and your life. So for all of our listeners out there, we'd love to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from our deep dive into deep work? And more importantly, what's one distraction you can eliminate from your life today to make room for deeper, more meaningful work?
It's all about taking that first step, right?
Exactly. And who knows, maybe this is the beginning of a whole new way of working and living for you.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into deep work. Until next time.
See you then.